welcome to Mexico for the second round of the 2011 World Rally Championship. If blistering fast rally cars blasting through high-speed gravel mountain stages is your thing, then you need look no further. Every year, Rally Mexico is a standout favourite for fans and drivers alike, and 2011 promises to honour the tradition. Here's what's in store for you on day one here in Mexico. Every rally this year we will select a stage of the day. Welcome to Alfaro. It's a snarling monster of a stage that opens up day one as the first full gravel stage of the season that ends with one of the biggest jumps we've ever seen in the WRC. Every day we'll select a featured driver whose story will follow throughout the weekend. Here in Mexico, it's Peter Solberg, the 2005 Rally Mexico winner. He grabbed second place here last year. Can he go one better? And of course, settle yourself in for the best of the action from day one. It could even be the best action of the season. From Sweden, we've travelled across the Atlantic Ocean to Central America. 400 kilometres northwest of Mexico City is the city of Leon, our host for the rally, with the 22 stages run through the nearby Sierra de Lobos Mountains. Mikko Hirvonen leads the title race after a superlative victory on the opening round in Sweden. But now he's first on the road. He'll suffer from sweeping away a line of grip in the loose gravel to the benefit of those running behind.
It's going to be a difficult one, and you know, it's just the thing, there's so much loose gravel. It's going to be difficult to be first car on the road on Friday, and then everybody else has a chance to play tactics if they like. But, you know, you never know still. I mean, it's a completely new car on gravel as well, so I feel like starting the season again like I felt in Sweden.
As he's sixth on the road and enjoying that clearer line, the man most likely to benefit is world champion Sebastian Loeb. He's won the last 4 Rally Mexicos and will be hard to stop here. Citroën were totally dominant here last year, with Sebastian Ogier battling to the bitter end with Peter Solberg just missing out on second. He'll be pushing teammate Loeb all the way. Mexico presents a unique challenge with rapid stages tempered by the cars gasping for power in the high-altitude thin air. This can be a real issue as the drivers fight to compensate for the lack of boost.
We lose nearly 20% of horsepower, so that's a lot, and so we really feel it. It's sometimes we have to be a bit more careful not to stall the engine on the start line or in the hairpin, and also at the exit of the slow corner. You feel that it's not the same power.
The stages are quick and the jumps are bigger than ever before. Rally Mexico 2011 looks set to be an absolute classic.
I actually really love these stages. It's quite an adventure out in these hills. It's kind of a bit like the Wild West.
Even though we don't have the power, I think I've had my record on top speed. One year we did 2:32 on a stage. And okay, it's downhill, but you know, it can be fairly fast around here.
I don't really care about the dangers in high speed. I love to drive fast, and for me it's pleasure when it's fast.
But what will be the best way to tackle those huge jumps here in Mexico?
I like to fly, so if there's any chance, I'll go flat out and let the car fly.
Our featured driver Peter Solberg is back in the driving seat. Co-driver Chris Patterson had to finish the Swedish event after Petter lost his license.
I don't want to sit beside in the co-driver seat again, I can tell you. That's definitely.
His second place here last year epitomised his attacking instincts. Will we see the same in 2011?
Well, last year we maybe missed a couple of 3 wins, you know, because I just want to go for it, and maybe what we should have done is to be more tactical.
Mikko Hirvonen heads the field on 25 championship points, with Mats Osberg keen to show that his success in Sweden was no flash in the pan. Jari-Matti Latvala will be looking nervously over his shoulder as the Citroëns are out to avenge Sweden. Petter starts 5th on the road, while the M Sport Stobart Fords of Matthew Wilson and Henning Solberg start just ahead of Monster World Rally Team driver Ken Block. In the shadow of the Alhóndiga de Granaditas, which 201 years ago was the backdrop for the start of the Mexican Revolution, the WRC crews are again welcomed with open arms into the heart of Guanajuato by the local residents in the build-up to the official start ceremony. And for 2011, there is an extension to the Guanajuato festivities with a brand new street stage immediately following the start ramp. The route plunges into the darkness of one of this historic town's maze of underground tunnels and continues for just over a kilometre. Thousands of Mexican rally fans have crammed into every available vantage point, and our featured driver Petter Solberg is always a big favourite here. It's quite a spectacle with the cars set up for gravel on cold tyres. These dark cobbled streets are incredibly slippery.
32 right minus tight 1.
Oh, and a brush with one of Guanajuato's underground tunnels by Petter there. And just listen to the reception there from the crowd at the roundabout. Solberg is the quickest man through this unique stretch of road.
So many people, it's crazy. So this is what we need for the sport, and I think even if it's a short stage and stuff, you know, it makes the crowd crazy. So that's what we're hoping to do more of.
The crowd certainly are going crazy, but one man who can't make it onto the first stage to entertain them is Ken Block. A bizarre electrical fault has grounded the American before he could even get started.
Alex has been on the phone with our engineer for 15 minutes now. We've been trying everything and haven't been able to find anything. So, you know, I realize that this is a new car for everybody, and obviously I kind of understood that there were going to be some gremlins and probably some mechanical issues. I just was hoping it wasn't me, and unfortunately, it's me.
After the break, we head out to the mountains for some of Mexico's fastest and most demanding stages, and we start to get airborne for some of those terrifying jumps. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the mountains of central Mexico for the unique sights and sounds of this North American country that make for a terrific backdrop.
¡Arriba el rally!
The WRC's finest are making their final preparations before the first gravel test of the season. It's a chance for the fans to meet their heroes as well. Now, featured driver Petter Solberg looks to be in good spirits. First up today is the 26-kilometre blast through Alfaro, wide and incredibly fast in places. It also rises to an altitude well in excess of 2,500 feet. And that's, of course, going to affect the engines. It also includes a flat-out sixth-gear jump towards the finish. We'll be keeping a close eye on that, and this is our stage of the day. Clear blue skies above, and it's Sweden winner Mikko Hirvonen who will have the dubious honour of leading the cruise away. Here we go then, the first gravel test for the new era of World Rally cars. And running first on the road means Mikko will face the worst of the loose gravel in these shorter, more nervous cars. The Ford-man's already fighting to control the car as he struggles for grip. Second into the 26 kilometres of Alfaro after his stunning rise to prominence in Sweden is Mads Osberg. It's the 23-year-old's first attempt at Rally Mexico, so we can expect a more cautious run from the Norwegian this weekend. Back with Hirvonen as he approaches Alfaro's jump. A fairly controlled display there from Mikko. Mikko's Ford Abu Dhabi teammate Jari-Matti Latvala is next into the stage. It is the first high-altitude challenge, of course, for these new cars. The thin air can leave the cars around 20% down on power. Back on the start line is Petter Solberg.
You always have to check who's driving and co-driving now, yeah?
As Petter pointed out there, he thankfully has co-driver Chris Patterson in the passenger seat on this occasion, as they blast off into Alfaro. Well, Solberg has a good record in the Mexican mountains, winning here back in 2005. He's got the hammer down in this flat-out section at the start. The first of the work Citroën, Sébastien Ogier, is also well into the stage. The Frenchman's always performed well on Mexico's challenging gravel roads, and looking at his telemetry, you can really see how incredibly quick this stage is. It's so fast, it's only really at the breaking points where time can be lost or gained. He's rapidly bearing down on that jump now, completely nailing it in 6th gear, no sign of backing off. Oh, massive air from Sébastien. He definitely didn't hold back there, and he is fastest through so far.
Sébastien, 4th on the road, and you make good use of it, quickest so far?
Yeah, it's quite normal, thanks to my road position. But it's okay, normal stage, no problem. For sure, we miss a lot of power on this stage. It's so slow all the time, but okay, it's like this.
Rejoining our featured driver, Solberg, now.
Six right plus half long, tightens a little, keep in over crest 200.
And we can take a look at Petter's telemetry too. The car feeling down on power on these high altitude roads. Petter's keeping the rev range as high as possible. It's his turn to take on the jump.
Slight right, half long, 100.
The former world champion as spectacular as ever there.
Extra long, keep in over crest 200.
Let's take another look from outside the car. Definitely one of the biggest jumps so far. The Citroëns are all using their superior grip to good effect, and we have an interesting battle of the Sebastians building this morning. Loeb is incredibly evenly matched to his teammate Ogier. Just 0.2 of a second separate the Citroën total drivers at the moment. Ken Block has started today with a 10-minute time penalty after missing the Guanajuato street stage. Let's see what he's like over the jump. Well, he's not letting it hold him up too much. Another spectacular leap from the Monster World Rally Team driver.
You know, last night was so disappointing. I was just absolutely gutted. It was actually hard getting up this morning, getting motivated. But, you know, these stages are just a lot of fun. And I just wanted to come out and really try and do my best.
From a Ford 1-2-3 at the end of Rally Sweden, we now have a Citroën 1-2-3 after the first gravel stage of 2011. Just 2.9 seconds between them, with Ogier moving into the top spot. Latvala the leading Ford driver in 4th. There are still 2 more mountain stages to run in the morning loop, beginning with the highest stage of the whole championship. Ortega peaks at over 2,700 metres, so that lack of power will be even more pronounced. As first car on the road, Mikko Hirvonen still fighting for grip on the top layer of loose gravel. Mikko working hard to keep the Fiesta RS on the road. He's pushing as much as he dares, but still slipping adrift of the Citroëns. Using our WRC stage simulator, we can visualise how much of a disadvantage Mikko has running first on the road compared to Sébastien Ogier. By putting them on the road at the same time, his superior grip means Ogier is much quicker. Hirvonen was 8.6 seconds slower after just 20 kilometres. Sweden star Mads Östberg, meanwhile, comes into the Ortega stage running in 6th place. But there is a problem here for Mads and his Swedish co-driver Jonas Andersson. They picked up a puncture. And with 10 kilometres still to run, they've got a decision to make. They eventually stop to check out the tyre, but with it only partially deflated, they still have the option to continue driving without changing the wheel. There was some concern before the event that these Mexican roads are rougher than usual, and it's certainly proving a tough test for Michelin's new gravel tyres.